Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the cosmos of our own minds. We're talking about cognitive biases, those sneaky mental shortcuts our brains take that can sometimes lead us astray. Think of them as mind traps, illusions of thought that warp our perception of reality. Over the next few chapters, we'll be exploring some of the most common cognitive biases, arming you with the knowledge to spot them and avoid falling into their deceptive depths. Let's get started. Our first mind trap takes us straight to the roulette wheel, metaphorically speaking, of course. The gambler's fallacy tricks us into believing that past events can influence future probabilities, especially when it comes to random events. Imagine flipping a fair coin 5 times and getting heads every single time. Surely, you might think, the odds of getting tails on the 6th flip must be astronomical. But here's the catch. Each coin flip is an independent event. The coin doesn't remember the previous flips, so the odds of getting tails remain a steady 50-50. Just because a stock has been on a losing streak doesn't mean it's due for a rebound, and picking the same lottery numbers every week won't magically make them more likely to win. The key takeaway here is that when it comes to truly random events, the past is irrelevant. Don't let the illusion of control fool you into making irrational decisions. Think critically, evaluate the probabilities objectively, and make decisions based on logic, not superstition. Have you ever felt the urge to gather more and more information before making a decision, even when it's unlikely to change the outcome? Congratulations, you've experienced information bias. Let's say you're experiencing some health anxiety and decide to consult with a doctor. The doctor examines you, runs some tests, and assures you that you're perfectly healthy. But instead of feeling relieved, you find yourself seeking second, third, and even fourth opinions, scouring the internet for hours, convinced that there must be something the doctors are missing. This is information bias in action. We crave certainty, and sometimes, that craving leads us down a rabbit hole of excessive information seeking. The key to overcoming information bias is recognizing when enough is enough. Learn to trust your judgment, rely on credible sources, and avoid getting bogged down in a quagmire of extraneous data. Sometimes the best decision is made with the information you already have. Chapter 3. Confirmation Bias. Seeing what we want to see. Let's talk about confirmation bias. It warps our perception, favoring information that confirms our beliefs. Think about heated political debates. We often seek news that aligns with our views. This creates an echo chamber, amplifying our biases. Combat it by seeking diverse perspectives and challenging assumptions. Chapter 4. Anchoring Bias. Setting the stage for influence. Anchoring bias refers to our tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information we receive. Imagine you're shopping for a new car. The first car the salesperson shows you is a top-of-the-line model with a hefty price tag. Anchoring bias can be powerful in negotiations. Do your research beforehand and question the anchor if it's unreasonable. Chapter 5. Availability Heuristic, Judging by Memory Lane. Our final mind trap takes us on a stroll down memory lane, where vivid memories can sometimes distort our perception of reality. The availability heuristic describes our tendency to overestimate the likelihood of events based on how easily we can recall examples. Think about the news cycle. We're constantly bombarded with stories of crime, disasters, and other sensational events. While these stories are important to be aware of, the constant exposure can create a skewed perception of risk. For instance, you might be more afraid of flying after seeing a plane crash on the news, even though statistically, flying is much safer than driving. This is because the vividness and emotional impact of the plane crash make it more memorable and thus more available in our minds. To mitigate the availability heuristic, try to step back and consider the bigger picture. Look for statistical data, consult with experts, and don't let fear or sensationalism cloud your judgment. Remember, just because something is easily recalled doesn't mean it's more likely to occur. So there you have it, a glimpse into the fascinating and sometimes frustrating world of cognitive biases. As we've explored, these mind traps are part of what makes us human, influencing our thoughts, perceptions, and decisions in ways we may not even realize. By understanding these biases, we can start to recognize their influence in our own lives and take steps to avoid falling prey to their deceptive charms. Remember to like this video if you enjoyed our journey into the quirks of the human mind, leave a comment below with your own experiences with cognitive biases, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Until next time, keep those minds sharp and stay curious.